Hey there. Yes, you. Here's a question for you. Can you imagine being at school for 12 hours a day? No, I didn't think so. Or can you imagine working for 12 hours a day? And not easy work either. I'm talking about building houses starting before the sun came up, working through the day whilst the hot, dry sun burns your skin, and finishing when the sky went dark. Well, this is how Australians worked during the 1850s. But I'm going to teach you about how it all changed in 1856 and how the 8 hour day movement began. But first, do you know what was happening in Australia during the 1850s? I'll give you a tip. It's something that can be found in the ground, and its name is a colour. Gold, yes, the gold rush occurred between 1851 and 1861. In 1851, Edward Hargraves, who had just returned home from gold panning in the Californian goldfields, discovered a grain of gold in a waterhole near Bathurst. Hargraves identified the landscape in California, where he had been mining, was similar to the landscape where he found the gold in Australia, and thus began the gold rush. But how did the gold rush help Australians improve their living conditions and their rights as working Australians? Well, the gold rush led to a huge increase in work for Australians, especially for builders. Yes, the huge influx of people. These people, mainly upper class people, needed homes to live in, as people doing the mining were living in tents on the goldfields. However, building was a fairly skilled trade, and in the 1850s, not many builders were around. That meant these builders were told to work 12-hour days. Yes, 12-hour working days. How would you feel about working 12 hours straight? A group of men named the Stonemason Society, as a stonemason was another word for a builder, decided something needed to be done. They did not enjoy working 12-hour days because they were all tired and exhausted from all the work. So the workers decided to take advantage of the demand for their services and fight for better working conditions to improve their quality of life for all workers by striking on the 21st of April 1856. A recollection from the diaries of Charles Dunn, a stonemason himself and a working class Victorian man who was elected by his peers to represent them and their interests in the Parliament of Victoria, highlights a number of stonemasons who had had enough of unfair working conditions and joined him in a strike. So the workers came up with a slogan: 8 hours work, 8 hours recreation, and 8 hours rest, to highlight what they wanted and what they saw as fair working conditions. The strike by the Stonemason Society resulted in the Victorian Parliament passing a law which saw 8 hour days come into effect. The strike was later named the 8 hour day movement and was important in shaping Australia's identity as a strong example of how democracy has shaped our country and the introduction of workers' unions who represent workers and their rights.